You know what time it is. It's Friday in the Sea House. Welcome back. Well, welcome back, everybody. We hope you've had a productive week of online learning. We know some of you have started to slip away a little bit. Students, I'm talking to you. I'm urging you, please finish out the school year, staying plugged in with your teachers and get those assignments in. We'll talk a little bit more about that as some more questions have come in a little bit later in the show. For right now, I want to turn our attentions. We have an updated winner or an additional winner to the Week 4 challenge. Check this out. Heidi Merlot sent this in a little bit late, but man, if that doesn't capture the spirit of spring break and the times we're in, nothing does. Thanks so much, Heidi, for sending that to us. For the Week 5 challenge, we ask everybody to write some letters out there the old-fashioned way. Well, my old pal Charlotte Gordon sent these pictures in. Apparently, Charlotte had really started this up a little bit before we even got to the coronavirus season. She started writing some letters to folks that she knows she's going to be going to college with and has really racked up the letter writing and has submitted this for part of the challenge. Just look at the letters this young lady has received and sent out. Great job, Charlotte. And again, as we continue throughout this coronavirus quarantine that we're under, take some time to write a note, put it in the mailbox, send it to a friend, and watch what happens when you get those letters back. Nothing feels better than opening the mailbox yourself and getting a letter out of there addressed to you. Thanks, Charlotte, and I hope everybody else is doing the same thing. Now, before we move on, there's a couple of ladies that have been doing some things above and beyond the call of duty. I started out the first few weeks shouting out our Bulldog Best to some students and teachers. I've gotten way behind on that. On social media, we're still doing our Bulldog Best shout-outs. And so please make sure you're checking in with Twitter and Instagram and Facebook to catch all those latest Bulldog Best announcements. I do, however, want to issue two of my own this week. The first is to this lady, Miss Emily Reiser. Emily is the teacher and administrator here at school who's actually behind the Bulldog Best. She is the one that organizes it, that gets the communication out, and the reason we have such great climate morale, or one of the many reasons we have great climate morale at our school, is because of the tireless efforts of Miss Emily Reiser. So Emily, thank you for always doing your Bulldog Best. Another lady I wish to highlight this week is Miss Meg Begnow. Meg is not only a teacher at our school, but she's also our public relations director, if you will. She is the lady who puts out all those things on social media, the letters that we send, the updates, the questions that you have out there that get answered on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Meg is doing all this while continuing to teach her classes and teach her own little toddler that she has at the house. Meg, you've got to be exhausted, but we are so thankful for you. So a shout out to Meg Begnow for continuing to do her Bulldog Best as well. At this time, like every week, I want to reach into the old mailbag here. Of course, it's the email bag. But reach into the mailbag here and pull out some of the feedback that we've received or some of the questions we've got this week. Mr. Young, can you please tell me when I can get my yearbook? All right, that's a great question. We actually put that out in some of the letters that we put out, some of the communication to you, but I know there's been a lot coming at everybody, and this is an important one to everybody. So if you're an underclassman this year, if you're currently a freshman, sophomore, junior, and you're going to be back with us next year, we're going to have your yearbook available at Dog Days. Dog Days will be this summer, tentatively, as the letter that went out said, tentatively on July 27th and 28th. As we get closer to that, we'll have specifics about which day belongs to which class. But when you come to pick up your schedule that day, you'll also be able to pick up your yearbook. So thank you for that question. Mr. Young, can you tell us if we will still have an awards night? Thank you, Tina. Well, Tina, this time of year we have a lot of awards nights, so I'm not exactly sure which one you're talking about. Obviously, even if the shelter in place is lifted here in mid-May, which we believe that it will be, it's still going to be very, very low-key in terms of how many people we can have gathered at one time. So we've got a lot of awards nights scheduled, but like so many other things right now, they're going to be done virtually. And finally, Principal Young. My child thinks he can pick and choose what assignments to do between now and the end of the year, and his teachers will only count those that help him. Is this true, or can you clarify? Well, obviously, as we've continued to try to simplify things and put more communication out there, we unintentionally sometimes have opened up even more questions than we thought existed. So, going back to this hold harmless policy, at the end of the school year, on May 22nd, teachers are going to be tasked with looking into their grade book and identifying two numbers. One number is the student's third quarter cumulative average. That's everything that they did between January and March 16th, what their average was at that point. That was the grade that was posted as third quarter earlier this year. They're going to look at that number, and then they're going to look at the cum average for all of second semester, which includes the third quarter grade or average, as well as all the things that they've done since March 16th. So in essence, you've got the third quarter grade that teachers are looking at, or the third and fourth quarter combined grade or average that teachers will generate between now and May 22nd. So on May 22nd, teachers will determine which of those two numbers are higher, and your student, or you as a student, will be getting the higher of those two. So if you were not happy with where your grade was when that third quarter grade was posted back in March, then you need to be working on everything all the way through to the end of the school year. What you cannot do, and where the confusion comes in, is that if I do some things that are helping my grade during this last 9 weeks, that's everything since March 16th, that I can pick and choose those things that help boost my grade and eliminate the things that have harmed my grade. That's not how it works. You're either getting your third quarter grade as your final second semester average, or you're getting your third and fourth combined average, and that will go in as your second semester grade. I've probably thoroughly confused you even more, but that question continues to come up because a lot of students are out there saying, hey, I'm just going to use the ones that help me and exempt the ones that don't. It doesn't work that way. If you're planning on this last 9 weeks helping you, you've got to do everything because teachers are still putting missings in from when you don't show up. I hope this helps, Mrs. Smith. We'll continue to put information out as questions come up to clarify as we go forward. So that's it for today's mailbag, and I really hope I didn't confuse folks out there, but even in my own household, those questions have come up. I don't know of any easy way to explain it, but at the end of the day, your child is going to get the score that best helps him, whether it's the third quarter grade or the third and fourth quarter average of everything they've done this semester. Now, this time, the time we all been waiting for, this is the time when we have some of our favorite seniors here at the C House on the show. So for this week's senior moment, we have 4 incredibly dynamic seniors with us. I'd like to go around and introduce them or have them introduce themselves and tell us what they were involved with here and what they plan to do this fall. So Abby, we'll start with you.
Hi, my name is Abigail Hernandez. I am so fortunate to be involved in the Flash of Crimson band program, our visual arts program, and in our dramatic writing program. I plan on entering the liberal studies program at New York University.
All right, great. Emma?
Hi there, my name is Emma Allen, and I am so incredibly blessed to be a part of our Forsyth Central Chorus Department. I will also be studying music in the fall at Berry College to pursue a music education degree and vocal performance degree.
Excellent. Noah?
Hi, I'm Noah Booth, and I'm a part of our thespian troupe 3064 theater. And in the fall, I'm going to be at the University of North Georgia, Gainesville, and I'm going into their film production program.
Great. And Senna?
Hi, I'm Senna Dufour. I'm so happy to be part of the Flash of Crimson marching band, ASL program, and the dramatic writing class. In the fall, I'm going to be going to MTSU, so that's Middle Tennessee State University, and I'll be studying film and production.
For our teachers, they were trained as classroom teachers, not online teachers. Online is a very different beast than being in the classroom, and we've asked them overnight to try to make this leap to go from being like a stage actor to a film actor. How do you think, for the most part, they're doing with this transition?
Honestly, yeah, I think they're doing a great job. I definitely want to shout out Miss Owens, who's my math teacher. She's been super organized on providing like a consistent transition from the classroom to the online classroom. in the sense that she always has like a video lesson, and then she has like the practice problems and then a key right after that. So you have the video to reference back to in PowerPoints, and then you can just go through the lesson like normal. And honestly, like I found it easier to learn math at home, which I never thought was going to be possible because I always liked the teacher interaction, but math surprisingly is fun.
It definitely was a little rough at first. I don't think anyone knew what we were supposed to be doing or how in depth. It kind of felt like snow day assignments a lot, where it was just a bunch of random miss. But I think over the past couple of weeks, it's definitely gotten a lot better. You know, I still feel like I'm in class, as Emma was saying. It just doesn't feel like, you know, we don't get to see our teachers, and that kind of sucks. But I think that they've done a really great job. I think Blandford's especially has done a really good job. He likes to post the vocabulary and what we need to look up. He helps us figure out, you know, with Kahoots, what we need to do. He's always alerting us, sending us daily, you know, good mornings, hope everyone's doing okay. So that's been really helpful.
Excellent. Abigail?
I personally think my teachers are doing great. I especially Dr. Hester, my advanced comp teacher. She is incredible. Every once in a while, she'll send us a message, and she'll be telling us, take a deep breath, go outside, take a break, and it's just really nice. Because I myself always forget to go outside. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I just get so entranced by my computer screen. Getting those daily reminders are really helpful. And I think the hardest thing has been me learning myself, because I mean, nearly 12 years of learning how I'm an auditory learner, so I learn a lot more by hearing and absorbing whatever my teachers are saying to me, and suddenly having to read the text and learn things on my own now. It's been a difficult shift, but a shift that I've had to learn and adapt to. I'm a little bit behind on my assignments, but I'm trying my best.
I think my teachers have done a pretty good job transitioning. I know my econ teachers, especially, both my teacher and the other econ teacher, I can see they've been working together to make sure that their plans are still on schedule, and that all the kids are getting as many resources as possible to make sure that we're still on track for each unit. So I feel, and all my other teachers as well have been keeping up to date, trying to keep everyone on track, and they've been on the ball.
Here's the $1 million question. One memory from your high school career here, that one senior moment that you look back on, you'll carry with you forever as you leave the C House.
I definitely think my favorite memory from Central was actually last year, my junior year, at the spring show. I had the opportunity to conduct the Otwell kiddos, or that's what I called them. I volunteered with them every week to prep music and lead them and conduct them and rehearse with them for our concert with the high schoolers. And as you know, that Otwell doesn't have like a full-fledged program yet. They're getting there, but that was like a really cool step for me to have that experience last year, to just see them like sing their hearts out on stage. And it was just so rewarding, like just to have them smile and just sing to everyone. It was such a special moment.
That's awesome.
Mine isn't really an exciting moment. It was more so a conversation I had. I used to be in STEM, and I had to make a critical decision. Am I really going to want to stay in the STEM program, or do I want to step away and focus on my passion of writing? And I sat down with my physics teacher, Miss Stevenson, and she was like, you'd think that as a STEM teacher, she'd be like, no, keep pursuing STEM career. No, she supported me. She said, I've noticed that maybe if this isn't really truly your passion, focus on something you truly feel you can make a difference in. And I've always appreciated that about her, that she took me, like my passions over her own passions of physics and engineering. And I'm ever so grateful for her for pushing me forward in this direction. And I mean, as much as I love being in the STEM program, I think literature is a better fit for me.
I think my favorite moment from Central happened this year. This year when we went to our yearly one-act competition, and competed. We performed our show, God of Carnage, which was a very small show. 4 people were in the cast. I was one of them, and we performed it. And it was just such a culmination of this tight-knit little family and all these trials and tribulations that we went through to get here. And we put on an amazing show, and it was just it was such a great moment, just feeling how we were giving our best performance, and knowing that these people that I had grown to be a little family with, that we had finally reached like the peak of the performance.
This is gonna sound really silly. I think my favorite one was when we went to Denmark High School for the football game.
Yep.
And I say that because there was just so much craziness going on, and it was such a weird time in the season and just in life. And I remember that Mr. Grass was playing some like crazy songs on the Met, and we were all dancing. Shakar and I were dancing, and Major wouldn't dance with us, but it's okay. And we decided that there was like nothing to do, and the band kept asking if they could play. And we looked around, and I guess all the admin were somewhere else. There was only like one admin, and then I got voted out. So I had to go ask the admin if we could play our instrument, and they said yes. So we had like this whole party, and it was the first time I ever got to like bond with the Crazies, because the band and the Crazies stay pretty far apart from each other, except for like the occasional, hey, please don't let them play your instrument. Hey, stop trying to play their instrument. And it was really cool because we all got to bond, and then all of a sudden both sides just disappeared. And it was just the band kids that were stuck in the gym. And Mr. Grass turned to us, and he was just like, "Go band!" And then we all started cheering, and we cleaned up the gym. It was crazy, and I loved it so much.
Awesome. Well, we could go on and on, because I said at the beginning, this is a dynamic group. I could talk to you guys all day. I just got to tell you, being with you makes me miss you all the more. I can't wait till we get to July and get to have our senior luncheon together and graduate together. Hopefully I'll see you guys at prom. Ladies, I hope you got your dresses already. And well, guys, have a great rest of the spring. Finish the race, and we'll see you back here eventually. Love you guys. Well, that wraps up things from this week. Obviously, with Emma's idea there of shouting out one of her teachers and the others followed suit, I think it's clear that this week's challenge needs to be all of our students in the C House taking some time to either shoot a note to their favorite teachers, or highlighting those teachers have done a great job in this online learning, maybe doing a shout out on Instagram or on Twitter, or if you want to venture out to where us old people hang out, maybe get out on Facebook and do a shout out there, highlighting all your favorite teachers or all the great things they've done during this time. We'll see you back here next week on It's Friday in the C House. Beautiful weekend coming up. Lots to celebrate. Let's make sure we do so without the drugs and alcohol. Call or text when you get where you're going. And remember, nothing good happens after midnight. We love you guys. Have a great weekend. Go Dogs. Arf!